Hello everybody and welcome back to Formula Fun Sim Racing. It's myself, Zabby here, and I'll be on your commentary mic once again to take you all through for round 9 of this championship. We're here at Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix after an amazing Monaco Grand Prix, eventful, chaotic race at Monaco. We are here at Spain and it's Scrubbins starting on pole once again. The man who won in Monaco, finally breaking the streak of Zen of 7 race wins. And Scrubbins is the man today. He's running a special white livery as well. Flyscott is in P3 today with High B in P4, then Fitty in P5, the man who won the race in Spain last year, and then comes the last one is Spliff in P6. Let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship then. Zen still leads ahead of everyone, 195 points to their name. Scrubbins is back into P2 in the championship after a victory in Monaco, 112 points to their name. Then comes Flyscott in P3, not far behind from Scrubbins as well. Then is the AI with 99. High B with 80 points, along with the Fitty with 56 points to their name. Second last in the championship, and Spliff, the one and only points finish they had was a P4, and they still keep those 12 points to their name. Let's not waste any time, and let's get started for the Spanish Grand Prix. We are about to see these guys battle once again. Scrubbins and Zen on the front row. We're about to get started here in Spain. It's going to be 5 lights out and we go racing at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's going to be Zen and Scrubbins keeping it together into turn 1. But we're about to find out. Meanwhile, Zen has taken the lead already going into turn 1. He's ahead of Scrubbins and now Flyscott's going for it. And they're going to collide and Flyscott's going to have a little slide there. And Flyscott, remember, didn't have too good of a race in Monaco with multiple incidents. And again, he's going to do that. Meanwhile, there's cars going side by side. Footy round the outside of an AI as well. Just hanging around there. They're going to go 3 wide once again. Both of them are going to almost sandwich the AI. But through will be Flyscott and Fitty, as they both will be ahead and into P5 and 6 now. Footy still in P6. In fact, they've lost a position along with Flyscott. Spliff moves forward in P4. High B still maintaining P3 at the moment. Taking the position that Flyscott started in, with Scrubbins in P2, losing out there. Then again, these guys are going to be side by side. Flyscott and Fitty there, and Flyscott is going to be coming up ahead of Fitty out in there in P5 at the moment, as we are spotting these guys once again as Fitty's going to go, Flyscott's going to go very wide, and that's going to allow Fitty to get closer, and they're going to collide once again. A little slide from Fitty there. He's going to save it, keep it in P6, but for how long though? Because there might be cars behind attacking him and might be on the way to take his position. But will they be able to defend their position, or are they going to be overtaken? We are about to find out though. Meanwhile, AI cars at the back are fighting, but their race lead has been taken by Zen at the end of lap 1, with Scrubbins in P2 with that special livery. Maybe would have hoped for some luck, but not at the moment in time. At the race start, at least, they didn't get it good. Flyscott then had a moment as well, currently in P5 at this point with High B. Scrubbins in P2. Scrubbins already in P2, but High B in P3 with Spliff in P4. Remember, they only finished once inside the points, and those once was a P4 finish that secured them 12th point in the championship. But we'll see whether we will find out for sure whether they are able to add more points to their tally or not. And we are seeing cars right behind. Meanwhile, High B at the back would be looking to defend from cars, and there's going to be a car spinning, and that's going to be High B. He's tagged up from a car behind. That might be Spliff going into the back of High B there. It's going to be a very unhappy High B from that incident, that's for sure.
That was total pish.
That was my fault.
That's a penalty.
And now Spliff has been given a 10-second time penalty for a collision with High B. Meanwhile, DRS is already enabled at the end of lap 2, and Flyscott's going to have that to try and have a go at Spliff there. They're going to be side by side. They almost make contact once again, but Flyscott's going to be through on the inside line going into turn 1 and into 2 and 3. They make their way to the right hander now. This is not going to be a DRS zone, but still Spliff's going to be right behind. He might have a chance go at him, but not quite this time. And Flyscott's through with the help of that rear wing. He's going to be making that position and moving up into P3, recovering back to the top 3 now. He had an incident at the start, and now Spliff's going to go wide. That once again is going to be losing him time to Fly Scott, but sure, he might still be within DRS zone range and be able to open that rear wing now on this DRS zone, which is second and the only DRS zone apart from that main straight. Is it going to be enough for Spliff though? He went in the back of High B earlier at this same braking zone, and this time around they're almost going to go wide and just stay behind Fly Scott and not be able to get any closer even with the help of that DRS. But this main straight is going to be a decider, and we are about to find out. Before Fly Scott had a chance to overtake, this time around it's going to be a Spliff to have a chance at an overtake, and he's surely far more closer than Fly Scott would want him to be, and that rear wing opening is going to be a big help to Spliff's time, to Spliff's race. He's going to try and send her on the inside line. He thought it for a moment, but then backs out just in time, then just not having confidence enough, then maybe not wanting to be overtaking him though, because sure, he had an opportunity, he had a chance, Eddie wanted to go for that, he could have went for that, but he didn't decide and decided against it for time being, because I'm sure he wants to take this race long, and even a P4 is a huge result for Spliff, for a driver like him who's only scored points once this season and are looking for more points. But I think sure, a podium would be for a awesome result for Spliff, but at this point only lap 4 out of 17. A long race still, but Spliff's going to be through now on the inside line, as we were just talking about that. He's going to even have that DRS as well. That is going to be absolutely amazing move, and a fantastic IQ there used from Spliff, as you're talking about why he didn't overtake into turn 1. Surely that was the reason, as that earlier, had he overtaken Fly Scott, that would have given DRS to him, and that's going to be Scott going wide, and that's going to be Fly Scott going onto the grass, and that is going to be going all against him this time. It was all against Spliff earlier. It's going to be to him this time around, and it's going to be then Scrubbins into the pits already on lap 4. At the end of lap 4, he's into the pit lane. Not quite sure what happened. Maybe some damaged wing, or somewhat damaged, or maybe tires as well, but we'll find out later on, because we're seeing Scrubbins into the pit lane. He's fallen back to P10, but maybe a early pit stop might be a nice support to his race later on, because Undercut is a powerful one as well. Spliff currently up ahead in P2 at the moment. That is a huge tire position that he's running in at the moment though. I mean, this problem with Spliff has been he's not been able to finish races, you know. The way in Miami he was disqualified, as long as I remember correctly, under the safety car, so definitely that went against him. Then the last few races he just hasn't been able to finish though. He finished one race and scored P4, so I'm sure as long as he finishes today there will be big points to grab for him as well. So a fantastic result could be on the way. But we'll find out though. Zen, remember, still leading ahead of everyone. The man who has won 7 Grand Prix this season is going to be on his way to see that can he do it 8 now. Robbins at the bottom in P10, Monaco Grand Prix winner. We'll see whether he can recover back, which I'm sure he will recover as others pit in. And now Fly Scott is once again getting closer. He's getting closer and closer to Spliff ahead of on your screens, and Fly Scott might be on a chance, and with a chance to overtake Spliff there, because Spliff has been able to defend earlier on that main DRS straight, but he might just be able to defend on this DRS straight as well. But he's got the main DRS straight to worry about once more, and once again Fly Scott's gonna do a little bit mistake. And remember, Fly Scott did a mistake on the previous lap as well, went onto that little grass there, and once again on the exit there, just a slightly losing of that rear end, and definitely that is only going to be in favor of Spliff, because he's going to go wide. Not sure what he did there on a literal straight. He went into the wall almost. That was close. That was very mighty close to the wall. Might have been race ending. At the time we were talking about how his record of not finishing races has not been too good. One more could have been added to that, but today at least he saves it. I mean, for now, but we're about to find out. I mean, drivers are moving forward. Fitty is losing positions, but I don't know whether he lost it to High B, but I'm wondering maybe he could have pitted and lost that position, of course, inside the pit lane. But I'm sure we're on lap 7 out of 17. Still a long way to go to the end, but I'm sure these drivers now would be thinking about their pit stops. Now would be thinking about a stop on the soft tires and get rid of them and get it back on those medium tires. And you can't blame Scrubbins. I mean, even if he did not have damage, these soft tyres sometimes don't last. And excited to see where FlyScott goes from here, because I mean, taking the whole season performance, FlyScott has been able to finish, of course, better than Spliff, and overall a better driver. I mean, remember, you're last year's champion as well, so he's the defending world champion at this point. He hasn't been able to finish a race in the top step. I mean, nobody has apart from Zen and Scrubbins this season so far, but I'm sure as we move forward and throughout the season there will be drivers taking victories and others having a chance at the top step as well. FlyScott there got a bit closer to Spliff, but just not close enough to be going for that. But this time around, when that DRS is going to be enabled, this might be a chance for FlyScott to go for it on that main straight. He's a lot closer than he was last lap. Oh, on that last lap, and Spliff is going to head into the pit lane and head into the pits at the end of lap 8 and try and get rid of those soft tyres and get those mediums on. Meanwhile, FlyScott continues on for one more lap, and at this point Scrubbins is in P9, so nobody pretty much from the EIs has pitted as well, because as long as they pit, as soon as they pit, Scrubbins is going to be gaining position, as he gains one already, as we were talking about that. So I'm sure definitely at the end of this lap FlyScott might be thinking about a pit stop as well, because staying out for too long might just go against you sometimes. So I'm sure they will be planning it out quite nicely, and would be on a good chance to pit in and have a better chance at the strategy as well. And FlyScott currently has taken the race lead. The gap behind Zen is over 13 seconds, but I'm not sure whether Zen has pitted or not in this race so far. So 12 seconds the gap to Zen at this point in time. That means that Zen might be on his way to be taking that lead, and it will be exciting to see whether he comes out ahead or behind. And of course he will be coming out behind Zen there, as Zen is going to move forward and have a gap of over 4 seconds. That might be a great one there. An undercut working on FlyScott might be a good one, and Zen might be on his way to be having a chance and to be on an opportunity to be taking another victory to add to his victories this season. But we'll see. We will see. I mean, there's still a long way to go. Lap 10 out of 17, so over 7 laps remaining after even after this one. So I'm sure there is a lot in this race remaining for all of these drivers, and even especially for FlyScott, the man currently in P2. I mean, he could well have a chance at the victory today. And Scrubbins back into P4. I mean, 2.9 seconds gap to Spliff he has, so it'll be interesting to see whether he'll be able to do a good race and good pace enough to get ahead of Spliff and get himself onto that podium, or Spliff will be finally getting on that step of that podium. I mean, be the third one. I mean, still a podium, a trophy is always better than no trophy. So I'm sure we'll find out just in a few moments time. So as we're talking about footage, we actually have no coverage of this race. Meanwhile, Duns has been disconnected from the race. That might well be a opportunity for FlyScott though, because as far as I'm recalling it correct, disconnection from this race means that he has been disconnected from the server, and that is going to be an AI driving. And if FlyScott is just able to do a very quick laps around by the time Zen is back, it might just be FlyScott at the top, and FlyScott might just actually be able to get to the top and get that race lead. Already he's brought that gap from over 7 seconds to 6.3 seconds, and the gap now 6 seconds might just be going in the favor of FlyScott at this point, and definitely not what Zen would want, but sure, it would be going in his favor. Would FlyScott be wanting this for sure? He needs to push as hard as he can before Zen is back from the server, back in the server to drive his car. Meanwhile, Scrubbins has taken that P3 from Spliff and overtaking the man and getting himself back into the podium positions, which he of course lost out. I'm sure. I mean, he pitted. He didn't lost out, so obviously he pitted earlier, undercutted himself. He still started on pole, which I think was his 4th pole of the year, but 4th pole of the season. But is it going to be enough though? Still, we got to find out. We got to find out in this race, that's for sure. Zen still leads, but the gap is coming down. The gap is tumbling down drastically. 5 seconds now. The gap, which was on the previous lap, was over 7 seconds, is now only 4.9 seconds, and only going to come down very much lap after lap, and that might just be the best opportunity for Fly Scott. We might see our defending world champion win. We might be on our way to see our defending world champion take victory though, but still early time, early days. We can't say a lot. The gap is 4.6 seconds, but if Zen is able to get his connection back and be able to get back to this lobby and be able to get back into this race, he might be on his way to be taking and maintaining that victory. But as it stands, he doesn't look to be in this lobby or in this race C, so it's the AI that is racing, and that is of course going to be all against him, and might just be another victory chance slipped though. But that is going to be great news for Fly Scott. The man hasn't won this year yet. I mean, last year we might be on our way to see the streaks of, not only the streak of Zen broken, but might be his win dominance broken since the last 2 races are concerned, with Scrubbins taking that victory in Monaco, and only 2.4 seconds the gap now between Zen and Fly Scott, and Fly Scott might just be on his way to be able to take that place and get himself into that race lead. This might just be getting very exciting now. 1.8 seconds between Zen and Fly Scott. I'm sure this might not be fair in some eyes, in some ways. That Zen is not even in his car at the moment, and it's just a computer driving it. But it might be amazing if you are Fly Scott, if you are anybody other than Zen on this grid. I'm sure everybody's been looking after those victories, but Zen has been the main obstacle, the main target to beat, the driver that has been unbeatable throughout this season, apart from one race in Monaco. We are getting there slowly and slowly. The man is approaching the other one, and Fly Scott might well be on the way to take that race lead, and almost on his way to lead the Spanish Grand Prix, and he's even going to get that DRS, which he should be getting. There's rear wing opening around here, which he does, and Zen, with no being in this car, is invisible there, but Fly Scott's going to take this opportunity with both hands and move into the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix on lap 14 out of 7, and the man might be on his way to be winning this for Spanish Grand Prix. With still many laps remaining to the end to call him the winner, but as it stands though, with 4.4 seconds the gap behind to Scrubbins, as long as he doesn't make any huge mistake, Fly Scott might well be the man who finally does it this season. He did it in last season, who take not only victories but championship as well. He might be on his way to be taking victory here in Spain. We're on lap 14 though, still a few laps remaining for him to maintain that lead, but we are moving to the final lap now, and the man has taken his lead, but not only him, Scrubbins has moved into P2 with High P in P3, another podium on his way. Spliff is in P6, but he might be on the way to overtake Zen as well, but you never know. But there, Fly Scott is going to be on his way. He's going to be another different winner, a third winner of the season, and win the Spanish Grand Prix and take victory here in Spain, and Fly Scott has done it. Fly Scott taking that race win for the first time this season. A big congratulations to Fly Scott on that Spanish GP win, and then Scrubbins is in P2 again. Started P1, but recovery, and a good recovery I'd say in P2, with High B another podium to their name this season in P3. Footy in P4, just outside the top 3, then Zen in the end actually in P5 towards the end of this race, just ahead of Spliff, but Spliff getting those all-important 8 points, which is going to move them to 20 points in the championship. And that was it for round 9. See you next time in round 10 at the Canadian Grand Prix.